Greetings, my lovelies. Here we are back again. And as promised, last week I mentioned that it's probably time to do the astrological signs again, okay? So let's see what we can find. We've got our 3 decks. We're going to do them in clusters of 4. So there's a set of elements for each reading that we do, and you can seek yours out, all right? So this is for the week of November the 8th through the 14th. November. Anyway, God, it's almost Thanksgiving. All right. And so, first of all, we're going to do Aries, Taurus, Gemini, and Cancer. All right. So let's see what we can find for our signs. Ta-da. Oops. Okay, let's see. 3, 4. And one shuffle through, and then I'll lay them down. Each person gets 3 cards. Oops. All right. We got 1, 2, 3, 4. And finally, Hanson Roberts. I like this little deck. Kind of cute and precise. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so if we're looking at Aries first, we have these 3 little cards here. And one of the things I want to talk about first is, this is telling me is basically, don't worry about it being the death card. There, you can barely see it at the bottom, but it really, what it means is we're at the end of one cycle and we're ready to begin another, right? So sometimes we don't quite know what we're doing just yet. All we know is it feels like it's the end of something, and usually is, right? Major arcana, so it says pay attention to this card, and also pay attention to what you want to bring to close at the end of this particular week or month particular. Just know that we've got the Scorpio card there. So also means interaction between Aries and Scorpio can be quite creative, because adjacent to this card is my Ace of Wands. And this is about forward momentum and usually about creativity. And this is like, this is Aries, you know, once you break out, it's like, ta-da, let me do this. This is going to be wonderful. I've got all these ideas. I'm just itching to do it next, all right? That's an ace. It's a step down from a major arcana card, but it in and of itself is an important card too. That this card tells me that you may have to go a distance to find the answers that you're looking for. So you've got the idea now, and then you do a little bit of traveling, perhaps, to find the answers on how to get it, how to make it happen, how to do it. Don't feel like you're being chastised and sent away. It feels like you're going to something as opposed to running away from something. Okay, so it looks pretty good there for our Aries friends. Okay, all right. Then what do we have after Aries? We've got Taurus. Taurus is ruled by Venus, so sometimes there's lovely things that come to a Taurus. And speaking of that, it looks like there may be an opportunity for love for a Taurus. Let me be a good look at this card. This is all about emotions, okay? And sometimes it is someone who has been alone for a little while and has healed themselves. Instead of rushing from one relationship to another, this looks like they've had some downtime and they've thought about what was it that what part was I playing in this last relationship, and why didn't it work for me, or why didn't it work for them? Okay, so this is a good card for starting to understand what your emotions are. Okay, it's usually the bearer of good news too, so just know that. And then here's the partner that goes with it. So maybe you're that person, and this is the person that's coming in for you. These two come together, right? So have a look at her. And she has a lot of energy like the Aries people do, and that is, she's looking for something to get involved in. She's excited about it and very interested. She's willing to find out more information. So this will be a little investigation or some research, and that sets her free. So this makes for a good partnership between the two of you, right? So just know that. And this card is telling me what's lovely about it is this can be, even if you find it's not a romance that works out, it could be a financial thing that works to your advantage. Because this is the Nine of Pentacles, and what does that mean? It means it's the most money one person can make by themselves. So that might be a symbiotic relationship that encourages you to move to your higher ground and find financial successes based on this friendship, relationship, whatever it is you got going. Okay, good one. Having a beautiful garden, having the finances to make it look the way you want it to, being happy with the environment that you're living in, finding the home that speaks to your heart. Right? Have a look, especially if you're looking for a house. Isn't that nice? All these coins are decorating the arches in the garden. Okay, and it looks like there's maybe a little bit of wildlife that wanders in and out of your garden. So maybe you find a piece of real estate that's a little on the edge of the community that you want to live in. Okay, so that one looks good. What do we got next? Next, we have our Gemini. What you got going there, Gemini? Well, there's the two faces of the Gemini, and everybody expects Geminis to be two. Yes, two people in one. And this one is kind of saying, we're going to do that. One is addressing your emotions and to really know where they're coming from and celebrating them. And the other is understanding them. So now you've got emotion and you've got mental activities too. So that's what this is about. And when it has the females on it and it's got this little moon up here, it's kind of an indication that we're dealing with some heavy-duty emotions, serious emotions. And it's probably about time, especially for Geminis, because, no offense, but you guys have a tendency to avoid emotions if you can. And this is telling me it's going to start appearing, and why not address it now? Make it easier on yourself. Okay. Opportunities, Shaman of Wands. Look at this. These are things, it's like you're taking care of business and you see that doors are opening left and right for you, right? So this could be a really good month for doing those sorts of things. Wands, once again, is about forward movement, okay? About creativity. And this looks to me like it could even be starting a new business. So have a look at that. And it says it's okay for you to venture out on your own in this because there's much to be learned by it. And you might learn a lot that spurs you on to in a different direction. Okay, so I've learned this and I'm satisfied. Now, so I've learned all of these things. There's my books there, and I've gotten an inspiration that's going to lead me to these other books. Right, so just know that. This is saying don't feel like you're being restricted and held back. This little card is telling you that there's change coming. So what happens is sometimes the direction you wanted to go becomes obscured. And it's like, no, we don't want you to go that way, or no, not yet. And so you'll be slowed down a little bit so that you can actually change directions and end up in the exact spot that you need to be. All those swords, you can see them all around, those are all about ideas or mental activities. And so they're kind of restricting your emotion so that you can stop and take a look at these things. Okay? So it could be an interesting week for our little Geminis. Okay, Cancers, our little homebodies. What's going on with Cancerians? These are lovely cards for Cancers because this is telling me that you're going to gently reach the end of a cycle. Like when we were looking at that Scorpio card, it's kind of like, that's it, it's done, it's over. This one is saying you're going to feel it's like, oh, I can tell that I'm done with this and I'm ready for the next refreshing new part of it. Okay, so you come to the conclusion without the struggle and without the shock of realizing where you are. It's about I realize I'm done and I'm ready to reach out for something new. Okay. This card, once again, it says changes are coming and it has to do with financial stuff. So go with the flow, right? Try one thing, leads you to another. Try some of that, leads you to another. There's an evolution of things, and you're being asked to just go with the flow. Ace or change. And then we have Page of Pentacles. This could ultimately result in new career or new job opportunity. Okay? And this being a young person here implies to me that you may not know what this is inside and out, but that doesn't matter. You're supposed to give it a shot anyway. Right? So just remember that. You don't have to know everything before you get started. All you have to do is have the intention and then go with it. Okay, so that is the first 4 of our zodiac signs.